Hello and welcome to Sports Week. I'm your host Dan Tracy and I'm joined by my partner in attack, Tolu Shatadi. Tolu, are you ready to chat all things Premier League?
Most definitely, Dan. It's great to be here as always.
It's great to have you as always. So let's go to Selhurst Park because Crystal Palace face Manchester City on Sunday. This one could be a bit of a banana skin for City because when you consider they need to keep winning to keep the title race going, Palace, they're in the top four before the weekend starts. What do you make of this one?
Oh my word. This one looks on paper, to be honest, I don't think City have played really well this year. But despite all the talk around Arsenal being unstoppable, looking like they could run away with the Premier League, there's 2 points clear of this City team. And to think that the City team hasn't even clicked into gear yet, and you do know that at some point they'll probably put that run together. Crystal Palace obviously is a very difficult place to go to. Last season, the fixture finished 2-2, and everyone remembers Palace did beat City in the final of the FA Cup to lift the trophy. And Palace have got some really big wins against some of the big guns already. They really always seem to play well against the big sides, especially at Selhurst. But probably this is a different City team to the ones they've played in the past. I can argue that they've played better City teams and have got a result against them. The only problem this time is this City team are reeling from some probably poor performances in the last few weeks. Yes, they did pick up the win that closed the gap on Arsenal, but they seem to always give teams a way back into matches. It does seem like they do tend to start very fast, but they've let teams back in the game. You saw the game against Fulham where it really should have been comfortable, but somehow City managed to make that game really close. And my real worry for Palace is that Erling Haaland hasn't scored in a while now, and that's a huge concern. If I'm a Crystal Palace fan, I feel like City are going to do the same thing again. I feel like they need to outscore teams to win matches. Palace haven't been keeping a lot of clean sheets lately, which is also quite strange. Ismaila Sarr, who's been one of the better players since they sold the Berchiese in the transfer window, he's been injured for a bit. So that part of their attacking strength has gone out the window. Jean-Philippe Mateta, he's been getting into good positions, but he's not particularly been scoring. So as good as Palace are at home, I just feel like Pep Guardiola's City is starting to slowly kick into gear. One thing about this City team that you're sure about is they will get goals.
Well, they certainly will because not only Erling Haaland's strengths in attack, but the purple patch of form that Phil Foden is currently in at the moment. So, how important could he be to a City win this weekend?
Oh, he's going to be very, very important. I think everyone's come to the conclusion that the problem with City this year is not going to be the attack. If you think City and Arsenal are going to go head to head for the Premier League title, you think City are going to score, obviously going to score more goals than Arsenal. Arsenal are going to keep more clean sheets. City are going to score more, but the problem is keeping teams out at the other end. And that's been a real Achilles tendon in the last, Achilles heel in the last two matches for them. And so you like I said, Foden, obviously City will be glad that they've got him playing really well now. Ryan Cherki, also the signing over the summer, he also looks like he's starting to click into gear. I think the forward line isn't the worry for City. It's keeping goals out. And I think, again, like you said, Foden is coming to form in a really good time. We already talked about the fact that, look, we all thought once Erling Haaland stops scoring, City will be in trouble. Well, he stopped scoring now, and Phil Foden has been scoring. So I think they'll get the goals. I don't think you have to worry about goal scoring as far as City are concerned. I think with Foden, Ryan Cherki, even Jeremy Doku has gone off the boil a bit, but still carries a threat. And Erling Haaland, I don't think you should worry about them in an attacking sense.
And from a Palace perspective, when they usually play Man City, they are the fresher team because Palace haven't been in Europe before. They don't have that midweek exertion. Now, both teams will have played in midweek, so Palace have lost a slight advantage. Is that playing to City's hands as well at the weekend?
I think it does. I think City got a bigger squad, obviously. And for everyone who's cared to listen, Oliver Glasner has been very, very vocal about the fact that he doesn't think that Palace have gotten the right numbers as far as the squad depth is concerned, especially when they want to challenge for the local trophies, the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, and of course they're still playing in Europe in the Conference League. So and they play on a Thursday also, which is not very ideal for them. And if you see the way things have gone, it's almost like how Spurs and some of the other teams like Villa over the years, Newcastle, when they first get into Europe, there's always the hangover for the weekend after they come back from Europe. The levels are never really at the point where the manager wants. For teams like City, who are season campaigners, they already know they're going to play 3 games every week already. They've got the squad for it. The players already. It's almost like the players know how to pace themselves for games like that. I think that could be the key this week, and the fact that Crystal Palace will have played on a Thursday. Those players aren't used to playing 3 games every week, which is something that they will have to get used to. I think City will be fresher. City have the better options as far as the likes of Tijani Reinders don't even get into the team anymore. So I think from that perspective, Crystal Palace are at a disadvantage. City will capitalize on that. And I think if City win this one, it won't be because they'll be fantastic. I think it will be a very scrappy game. Oliver Glasner will make sure of that. Tactically, he is very astute. He knows the shortcomings of his team. He knows they'll probably be a little leggy against City. So I don't think he's going to set them up in a way that's going to particularly exert a lot of energy from them in the opening stages of this one.
Okay, then, time to put your money where your mouth is, Tolu. From a betting perspective, which way are you going?
I think for everyone who's playing FPL, everyone wants Erling Haaland to score. So I'm going to go with Erling Haaland, anytime goal scorer at Selhurst. And because City always concede, I'd probably go both teams to score, and then maybe City to win, and over 2.5 goals.
Top insight as always, Tolu. Thanks for your time this week.
You're welcome.